Hi, I'm Roger. Welcome to the shop, and today I am going to be reviewing this heat press right here from Vevor. They provided it to me to test and demonstrate. It's our new model. It's 12 by 15 5-in-1, and from what I understand it's pink in color, which makes no difference to me, but thought I'd pass that along. I need to bring up one thing here. I've done a lot of Vevor product reviews in the past, and I am not sponsored by Vevor, nor am I associated with them in any way, shape, or form. I'm not part of their company. I cannot offer you their tech support. I can't get you parts. So if you're having problems with any product that you've purchased from Vevor, you need to contact them and not me, because I can't do anything. So therefore don't get ticked off of me because I can't get you whatever part you broke. That's not what I do. You need to contact the manufacturer for that. Well, with that said, we're going to get this thing unboxed and see what we got here. Okay, on the top here we have the manual. Then we have a big styrofoam insert that I'm assuming will just come out with some stuff in it. Yep. Oh, take that out of there. Oh, that's heavy. I'll bring this over here. And here's the control head. We'll get all this stuff put together here in a minute. And this is looks like a smaller press. Oh, a hat press. This would be the other part of your hat press. Here we have some hardware, power cord, nuts and bolts. And then we have the tumbler and mug press over here, which is kind of wedged into the styrofoam. So we'll get all this put together here. Get rid of some styrofoam first, then get the other half of this out, which is also sitting in styrofoam. As you can see, it's pink. Okay, I'll get into a few specifics here. As I said, it's 12 by 15 work area with this part on there. And this here will plug into this controller. And these are all pretty much the same across different brands. You got a little DIN plug right here that's keyed, and this plug will plug into that. By the same token, if you're using one of the other accessories, you would disconnect this one from there and screw the other one in. Little dovetail slot right here that will slip into. So I'll get this connected. And there we are. Of course, then we have the power cord to plug into the back. Okay, the plate in here, this is a swing away model. That means you can swing this away, put your work down on here, and then swing this back. And we'll get into how to set pressure and all that here in a minute. It does come with a couple of heat pads. Oh, that swings right around there. It does come with two heat pads. One's harder than the other. Now, what's the difference between a swing away press and a clamshell press? A clamshell press, it opens like this. So if you were doing something thick, so let's say you were going to do something thick like this. You were going to sublimate onto this piece of wood here, for example. When you put this into a clamshell press, because it hinges like this and it's solid back here, there's no give. So you will have more pressure back here on the back than you will on the front. And you'll end up with a really strange looking image. This is when you're doing things that are thick like this. If you're doing fabric and stuff like that, it isn't going to make any difference. But with a swing away press, you would put your piece in there, and you would need to raise this, of course. There's a knob back here on the back. It's got up and down on it, so you would need to raise that up to accommodate that thicker piece. Then when you press down, you've got even pressure all the way across. Again, this knob up here, you can raise it up and down to adjust for the amount of pressure you're going to be using for whatever project you're doing. We'll get into that. Yeah, I've got this laid up on its back. It comes with some little rubber feet here, which are kind of like suction cups. Yep, they are suction cups. And there's some holes here in the bottom you just thread these into, except the holes are full of paint. May have to work it back and forth a little bit to get that paint worked out of there. Suction cups hold pretty decent. My saw tabletop here is wax and it's extremely slick, but this does hold pretty well with them suction cups on there. Now I get a power cord on here and we'll get some get this thing heated up some. Okay, to set temperature and time, I've just powered this on here a minute ago. You push set once. This will display what your temperature you want it to be, and that will appear down here. So, and if you wait too long, it'll go back. So we'll start over here. Take this up. I want 360 degrees. If you hold the button down, it'll advance fast. Get set again. You set your timer. This is in seconds, and I'm going to want 60 seconds. Set again. Now we're in Fahrenheit right now. I'm going to leave it. Otherwise, you could push that button there and switch it over to centigrade. There we go. So we'll let this heat up. We'll do a little basic presentation of how this operates and everything. We're going to do something really simple. If you're just starting out in sublimation and you want to practice on something, if you go to your, if you have a Dollar Tree around you, you can get a 4-pack of these microfiber cloths. They're 100% polyester, and they're great to practice with. I mean, they're definitely not high quality, but it's a really good thing to practice with. So what I'll be doing is putting our shop logo, which is right here, which is mirrored. This is on sublimation paper with sublimation ink. You can't use regular inkjet printer or laser printer and regular paper because that doesn't work. It needs to be sublimation ink. So as soon as this gets warmed up here, I'll show you the process, do a little quick demonstration. I have checked the temperature on this. This is a Fluke 62 infrared temperature reader, for lack of a better word, and it is actually pretty even all the way around. Of course, you get around the outside edges, you're going to lose some heat. I mean, it's not hot right out to the very edge, but in the center of the plate and in the 15 by 15 area, it fairly constant temperature. When I had it set for 365, it was within 5 degrees all the way across the plate. So that's a pretty good thing. Because a lot of times you get these and it'll be real hot in the middle and it'll be a cool spot, and it kind of depends on how the coil was made in there. But this has been pretty even across. As this is getting close to temperature, one of the things I like to do is drop the plating down and warm the bed. If you don't warm the bed, your first project may come out not quite like you thought it was going to, because the bed's cold, and this is trying to heat not only your project, but then it needs to bring the bed up to temperature. So I dropped this bed or the plating down on here, and this was at 360 and now it's down to 349 as it heats up that bed. Just a little hint there. If you just turned it on and you're doing your first project, it didn't come out quite right, but the rest of them did. That's probably why. Okay, I'm at temperature 385, so I'm going to open this up. I'm going to swing this away out of the way here. And I always put a piece of either parchment or butcher paper down first. And one thing I like to do with these microfiber cloths is just do a little quick press on them. Take the wrinkles out. Doesn't need to be very long. And I've got this set for medium pressure. The back will deflect just a little bit, but you don't want to have to just crank down on it. So you see you get that much deflection. So that's just a little quick press, get that flattened out. Then I'll take my graphic. Normally I would use heat tape to make sure it didn't move anywhere, but I'll get this kind of in the center here. It's just a little practice thing for demonstration. Put another piece of butcher paper over the top. We'll bring this over. We're going to press this for 60 seconds. So once you push the plating down, you push the down arrow, and this will time down. And when it gets down to 0, it'll beep. So there's our beep. Open the plating up, swing it out of the way. Remove my paper. This is hot. So there's our graphic. And you got good transfers. You can see there's hardly anything left on the sublimation paper. So we got a good transfer there. So I'm going to shut this off and let it cool down, and while it's cooling down, we'll put together the mug press attachment. Okay, this is not as intimidating as it looks here. This is actually pretty easy. You've got two ends here, your end plates, and you've got these aluminum rods, and these will go 1, 2, 3 across the bottom. They give you plenty of screws here. You will need a Phillips screwdriver to complete the assembly. Tighten everything up. This is a quick way to start the first set here. Now we just take the other side. Make sure your ends match. Don't do this. Make sure your ends match. And after you get them all started in there, go ahead and tighten them up tight. Well, you'll have a narrow bar and you'll have a wide bar, like so here. Narrow bar goes to the back and it's got a set of holes in it here. You want that to face the front, because that's where your element is going to be clipping into. And it uses the same screws, they just screw them from the end. Next, you'll have this wider plate here. I have this up on its side. This goes right down in here like so. And there's holes on the ends that you use the same screws in, both sides. Next, you have your handle here. This mounts right here with the handle facing out like so, and they give you some bigger screws for that. 4 screws there, pretty easy. Next will be the adjustment bar. It looks like this. The aluminum part will be going this way towards, because it has a lot of holes, it'll be going over to match that one over there. And there's holes in the sides here. On each side to put screws in, and if everything fits like that, don't get just crazy if you think that, you know, my bolt isn't going where it's supposed to be. It's kind of a snug fit, but it fits there just fine. If for some reason your little thumb wheel has come all the way down, you may need to run it back the other way to be able to get everything to line up. But that threaded rod locates itself in the center of your handle here, your lever. And once you have that set, this threaded rod screws into this. This is how you adjust your pressure. So take your time getting it started, make sure you have it lined up good, but it runs in there fairly easily. And if it gets to be too tough, you can always put a little drop of oil on those threads there. Okay, that's all there is to the assembly of the base unit. And if you're having problems with your rods hanging up a little bit on the bushing, just a little light coat of little oil or grease or something on these aluminum rods and they'll slip right in. Vaseline even will work. Okay, to put this on, which way it goes is dependent on which side you're going to have your control box sitting on. I'm going to have it sitting on the right side, so I will put the cord off to the right. These just line up into these holes on both sides. No, you don't put any nuts on them or anything. And then you move this forward to tighten it down on your mug or your cup, whichever you're doing, and then use this here to adjust the pressure. And I'll go get a tumbler and give you an example. Okay, this is obviously not a sublimation tumbler here, but I'll give you an example of what you need to do to size it. So this is a 20 ounce. This will also do a 30 ounce. That's not enough pressure there, so we need to add some pressure to that. That's just a matter of turning this thumb screw out. I'm going to have to turn it out quite a bit because that's a skinny tumbler there. You can also do coffee mugs in here. Obviously you'd have to have the handle sticking up. When you're doing sublimation on tumblers, and I have a few videos on how to do it, you press one side, then you turn it 180 degrees, and you press the other side. So see how much pressure, and that's still not enough. That there would be about right. And like I said, that's on a 20-ounce skinny tumbler. You want to make sure this is the same all the way across as you see here. So again, you would press this for, let's say 70 seconds for an example. Open this up, turn it over, press it again for another 70 seconds. I'm just using 70 seconds as a random number. You're going to have to do a little bit of testing, or better yet, watch my videos on how to do tumblers. But then this can be set, well, I backed that all the way out. This could be set for the skinny tumblers like this, or your coffee mugs, or 30-ounce tumblers. I don't have any 40-ounce ones here to try it on. Okay, and then to use this, you would unscrew the plating cord off of your controller. The controller just slips off that little dovetail. You screw this one on, set it off to the side here, and do your pressing on your mugs or cups or whatever you're doing. So I don't have any ready to press right now, but I'll put a link in the description on or at the end of the video on what videos you can watch if you're new to doing mugs or tumblers. Okay, now put the hat press attachment on. The first thing you want to do is disconnect your make sure the power's off. Don't do this with the power on. You disconnect your upper plate right here. Now when you look down in here at the top, there's two holes. There's a Phillips screw down there, and all you have to do is loosen that up several turns. Don't take it all the way out, you don't need to. This is still a little warm. Just hold that and slide it forward, and it comes right out. Take our mats off. Now on the base here, this is on dovetails, so the whole thing just slides right out. Except there is a screw we're going to have to take loose to let that happen. Now there's a stop here, so there's a screw right there. So you could either back that one out, or you could take this one down here out. It's just a stop so that this doesn't slide out when you don't want it to. And a couple of them in the bag there go on here, so you don't have to take the ones off the top plate. We'll just start those in their holes there. And this will go in those little T-slots. Then you would tighten screws down. And then you take this connector and plug it in. Keys at the bottom. And then you would turn it on and set your time and temperature. So how do you do a hat on this? Well, I don't have any hats to do. Let me grab a hat that I'm not actually going to use it on, but I'll show you how it works. Well, the way I've found it to be the easiest is when we've done these in the past, and like this hat we're not going to actually sublimate on, but I get it so it's good and tight down on the base piece there. Then I'll swing this back over kind of in the middle, and then I'll slide this in underneath it. And when you have everything there where you want it and you have your proper pressure set, you just close the thing, let it time down, do your thing there. That's how I do them. I know some people do them with the bill the other way. You do it either way. Some people do it with the this up, and then because this doesn't really swing away too well without rubbing on your whatever you're doing there. So you'd have to raise that up, or as I said, just slide this back out. Put this back together. You just slip that off. Disconnect your wire up here. Loosen these two screws up. Slide them out the T-slot. Well, you can set your bed back in place, and don't forget you'll need to retighten this screw at the bottom corner. And then to put the plating back on, it's a matter of setting this up underneath there, laying it up them little T-slots. Tighten your screws back down. Of course, then you need to reconnect your cable. And you're ready to go. So there it is, the Vevor 5-in-1 press. It's pink. You can do mugs, cups, tumblers. It's not set up for, it doesn't have the right element in it for, you know, extremely tapered things. If it's a minor taper, it might work, but it's mostly for straight tumblers and, you know, straight mugs, not tapered ones. The hat press, of course, if you want to do hats. Just didn't have any here to do right now. This here works fine, heats up quick. Temperatures are accurate all the way across. As I mentioned earlier, I checked it with my IR gun. So it's a quality piece for its price. Any downsides to this? Paint in the threads, that's my only thing. I'm putting some of the things together. Paint was in the threads, and it got to be a little bit of a task with some of the screws, but that happens. Otherwise, yeah, no real complaints about it. Is this a commercial level heat press? No. If you're going to run this, you know, 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, get a regular commercial heat press. This is for the home crafter and the hobbyist and that type of thing. It's doing HTV and sublimation and that type of thing. This is not for commercial production. I doubt if it would hold up under those kind of conditions. It's not designed for that. It's designed for the home hobbyist and home crafter. So again, Vevor did provide this to me to test and demonstrate, which I've done here. And I'll put a link in the description on where you can get a hold of one of these. They sell them on Amazon, just like a lot of things. So if you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up. Always helps the channel. I'm Roger in the shop. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.